Hello friends, I hope you are doing well and welcome back to another Vlogmas video. Today I will be doing another paint and chat with me video, but this one is holiday edition. I haven't done one of these in what feels like ages and I felt like now was a good time to do it. So I have a piece of paper up on the wall and I'm going to paint. I'm pretty sure what I'm wanting to do is a window frame with it like snowing outside and then a Christmas tree kind of in front of the window. I'm not sure if that's what I will do, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I should probably decide like right now. So I have some conversation starters up on my phone that I will read off and then talk about while I am painting. So let's get started. The first one is, how different was your life 1 year ago? This is interesting because it's been almost a year since COVID started. So in 4 months, I will have had 1 year on YouTube, 1 year since I was in high school, 1 year to a lot of things. So a year ago, I was still in high school, going to school. It's crazy because it seems so foreign. I would wake up every single day at around 4 a.m. What? That is a lie. I would wake up every single day around 6 a.m. get ready, then I would spend all day at school. I'd come home, do homework. I was involved in journalism, in choir, in orchestra. I did so many extracurricular things. I don't do any of that now. It's all finished. I always knew that that day would come, but I think part of the fact that it was so unexpected due to the pandemic, I didn't have that time to prepare like how you normally do when you graduate, because I graduated so suddenly. I graduated overnight. My life has changed a lot over the past year. I haven't talked to quite a few of my friends. I haven't been to nearly as many places as I used to go. But I'm curious to see how this experience changes me throughout the rest of my life. Obviously, this is like a pretty unexpected experience that I wasn't prepared for, like, at all. I have changed so much over the past year. It's incredible, honestly. I don't know how different I would be had the pandemic not happened. My life would surely be different, that's for sure. It also feels very weird to think that in 4 months it'll be 1 year. It's also crazy to think that in 4 months it'll be 1 year since all of our lives changed. It doesn't feel like that long, but at the same time, it definitely feels like that long. It feels like it's been so much longer. Sometimes I feel like I haven't done enough with the past year of my life, but I feel like that every single year. Alright, so my window frame is done. I know it is not amazing, but I've never claimed to be an amazing artist. But we are now going to work on filling it in like the little night sky or something. And my next question that I'm going to answer is, if you suddenly became a master of woodworking, what would you make? This is an interesting question that I have actually never thought about before. I think I would make something incredibly pretty, but also useful. Maybe like a boat? I don't want to go on a boat. Probably more along the lines of like a rocking chair or like a hearth for over the fireplace, something along those lines. But I would make it with all those like swirly little tiny wood details. Do you know what I'm talking about when something has just a lot of detail in the wood? It'd be like this beautiful brown. Lighter than this, it'd be like a warmer tone brown, super nice and polished. I think that's what I would make. That's really blue. Or maybe I would make like a sculpture. I've seen some really cool wood sculptures before. You know, I had a friend who did woodworking and he made a ukulele, like this beautiful, beautiful ukulele. Maybe I would make a ukulele or some other instrument. I used to know someone who made flutes. There's all kinds of things that you can make with woodworking. I don't think it's as popular as it used to be, but it is definitely a beautiful art form that I don't think I will ever take part in. Or if I do take part in, it wouldn't be like a serious thing. Maybe it'd be like a one-time thing. I don't think I'm going to start a life as a woodworker. Can you make a house? That feels more like a carpenter. A a carpenter would make a house. You can make things for inside of a house. When I think of really cool woodworking, I think of the boats that Vikings made. The ones with like the giant dragons coming out the front. They had all these detailings on the side. Maybe I would make one of those. But also, what would I do with that? So the next question I'm going to answer is, what are you looking forward to in the coming months? As we know, the new year is coming up, which means a lot of New Year's resolutions for a lot of people. I've never really done New Year's resolutions, but I might this year just because I have a lot of new things that are coming up this next year. I'm going to be starting another term in college, all new classes. I'll have a better grip on it because I've done remote learning now. I'm pretty good at it at this point. I had the hang of it. This month that you're watching, I am doing Vlogmas, which is a huge deal for me. So far, it has really kind of lit a fire in me, and I feel more like myself, which is interesting because I really thought that it would burn me out. Now, don't quote me on this because I'm only a few videos in, but I'm feeling like I'm going to make it through Vlogmas pretty okay, better than I thought it would be. I will do a debrief at the end of Vlogmas, sharing my experience and how I felt about it and how I went about it. But the nice thing about the New Year is everyone kind of agrees that it's a fresh start. Everyone is on the same page that you can restart on the new year. Alright, so there's a lot of dark colors going on here, so you really can't see anything. And the sun is gone, so we're really just relying on my light over here. It's only 5 p.m. But the next question I'm going to answer while I make my tree is, where do you usually go when you have time off? As of right now, my bed. I'm not leaving the house or going anywhere, but I have been sitting on my bed and lounging when I have time off. But I never go anywhere. Not that I ever really have gone anywhere when I could. I've never been like a big going out person. Maybe a friend's house, maybe, but not really. When we did leave the house before all this happened, I used to go out with bubble tea with my friends. There's a couple bubble tea places around town here. There's usually bubble tea places pretty much everywhere, but we would go out to bubble tea and sit in these little cafes and talk and hang out, have a good laugh. There's some cafes that had like Wii, there's some cafes that had board games. It was kind of our thing. We would just go sit in these cafes and drink bubble tea, talk about life, hang out. Haven't gone in ages, well over a year at this point, but when we are allowed to go out again and we can go to bubble tea, I know I would love to go out to bubble tea with my friends, and I'm sure they would love to go out for bubble tea with me. So we have our tree on there. I'm going to add some frost around the windows and maybe some stars out there. And the question I'm going to answer while I do this is, what age do you want to live to? I think I would like to live until probably my late 90s. I think the hundreds is a little too long, but I would like to live until my late 90s and then die in my sleep. I feel like that is a good chunk of time to live for. You know, a little longer than average. Does that look like frost on the window? Yeah, no, it totally does. I mean, kinda. Because you know, once you get up to like 100 years old, that's really, really old. There's no way that you can like take care of yourself at 100 years old. You would definitely have someone helping you go to the bathroom and helping you do everything, and that just, at that point your body is basically falling apart. While that is totally normal, I don't necessarily want to take part in that. I think like late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s is probably a good stopping point. You've lived a lot of life at that point. Alrighty, so I turned the stars that I was thinking about doing into snow, and I think we are going to do this last thing, which is put lights and ornaments on the tree. And I guess that brings us to this question, which is, what are you absolutely determined to do? This feels very fitting because what I am absolutely determined to do is Vlogmas. I am very, very dedicated to this. I really want to do this for myself, to prove to myself that I can do it. Okay, maybe this isn't dry enough. Alright, well this is not going to work. I don't think that's dry enough. So I guess we'll get back to that question here in a little bit once it's dry. Okay, so the tree is finally dry, which means we can finally work on the ornaments. Or the lights. That's what we are working on. But as I was saying, Vlogmas is something that I'm really dedicated to doing. I have slacked a little bit with YouTube because of my adjusting to school. It's been difficult for me to do both, but I really want to prioritize it and prove to myself that I can do both and prove to myself that I am capable of it. It's important to me. There's plenty of reasons why it's important to me. I am excited about it and I hope that you are excited about it. And with that, we are almost done with this painting. I just need to add these yellow lights and then the details to the lights and we are done. So after hours, it is finished. Here you go, my little art project. I will say it looks a little underwhelming, kind of like a child's project, but I have never claimed to be an amazing painter, so I will say it's pretty good for my ability. I feel like it's pretty Christmassy. Maybe I'll hang it up this Christmas. We'll see. Stick her back up there. And with that, you have reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe so that you can stick around and see more content like this and the other content that I post. I will be posting all the way up until Christmas Day, December 25th for Vlogmas. So if you want to turn on your bell notification so that you get notified every single time I post a video, you are more than welcome to. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.